Hi, Cynity Fair. My name is Cyn Hilaire, and I am the writer, producer, and actress in makeup and medicine.
And I'm Simone Williams. I was a cinematographer for Makeup and Medicine.
And this is Notes on a Scene. So, Makeup and Medicine is a Haitian American film, and while writing this, I really wanted to capture both worlds and how being a first generation American, when you're outside your home, you're being Americanized and speaking English, but while you're inside your home, you're in a different world and clashing with different generational viewpoints.
You want to intro the scene?
Sure.
Okay.
Où est piqué?
Ah, piqué sa pa jam piqué.
Oh, mes amis,
Ou
ça
pa jam met ase li man
Piqué
ay
ça.
mesdames qui expliqué ça. Après ki yon vin pran tèt Simon nan desen la piqué. Kon sa, ti pale li. Maman perdu.
So one of the first scenes that we're going to talk about is the dinner scene where you're seeing this beautiful layout of all the food that can be in Haitian American culture. And I think one of the writing points that I put in there is the aunties are bantering and you're seeing their personalities and things like that. And the mom makes a comment about Stephanie reaching milestones such as graduating, marrying, and then having a baby. And then the aunties make this really slick comment to make sure that the babies have good hair.
Ouh, avec cheveux belles.
Right. And I think it was important to include that in there just to show that even in different cultures and across the diaspora, we're having the same conversations, just in different languages.
I think for me, what I really found interesting about this scene is seeing that this is the mom's world. And as much as the daughter has grown up in this world and this is her family and these people care about her, they're in completely different worlds. They're very, very different. So the cinematography kind of changes from the banter to when our actress walks in. Because her whole thing is beauty, is softness, and there's rigidity in the culture around her. So I thought it was interesting that these feel different. That one is statics, wides, and then when we get into the singles, they're floating, they're beautiful. We're playing with the way the light enters the lens and the bokeh and things like that.
Yeah, and the scene makes you hungry too.
I was hungry. Couldn't eat nothing.
Yeah.
Mommy?
Okay, so this next scene is the big explosive fight scene between Stephanie and her mother. So Stephanie walks in and we're already seeing that her mom is unhappy. I was really excited about this shot of racking between Stephanie and her mom in the mirror. I got to play a lot with mirrors in this film and just the way the characters are reflecting back to themselves and the way they're reflecting to each other. And so for them to be having this conversation in this small mirror close to each other but be so far apart in what they're thinking and what their lives are, I thought that was really, really cool. I also did handheld because it's a fight. You just naturally want you do handheld when you're filming a fight so you can get in the action with them. This was a very ambitious chase scene that we shot handheld, following out the room, through the living room, and then deciding to stay in the house while the fight is happening outside the house. Because once again, there's a separation. And I felt like this moment is poetic and it's representative of, how do I say this? It's representative of a conversation that's happening culturally in a lot of first generation homes where we love each other, we're not seeing eye to eye, and I wanted people to be distant from it and be able to see the whole thing happening as opposed to in one perspective or the other. It's about what the moment means for the larger culture as opposed to what it means for the character.
Gonna have to talk to her.
It's her way or the highway, okay? These Haitian parents never want anyone to live, just meet their expectations.
Well, I sacrificed for you to be here. A whole case study on immigrant parents who put their family lineage success on their American children.
Okay, Twitter dissertation.
Ooh, ex-dissertation?
Okay, so the next writing moment I want to talk about is the scene between Stephanie and her best friend, Timar. And this was really exciting for me to write. I think this one I kind of wanted to show the generational clashes and the cultural clashes that we were just talking about happening between two conversations that you have with your friend, because that's how it is in real life. You're always bouncing back and forth between you and your bestie. The first thing that Timar said that kind of was a throwback to that very special time and place on Black Twitter is where she was like, I sacrificed for you to be here, in in-depth case study on so and so. And this is a callback to that time on Twitter Spaces where we would talk about Black dissertations, and we would come up with really creative and unique ways to talk about just the Black American experience here in the United States, and you know, how that could be summed up into like this really interesting PhD paper. Another thing that I wrote in there, which was one of the longest monologues that Stephanie had, was her really confronting the American dream. This story is within the context of first generation Americans, and a lot of us are here because we are someone's American dream. And even though we're clashing with what that means right now in the United States, we're still kind of like in the pursuit of it, despite the fact that we might be mad about it and stuff. So.
Yeah, I feel like the first person to truly live the American dream is the first person to realize it is not the dream it was sold to be. So it's interesting seeing Stephanie with the ability to really achieve this American dream that her mother's been wanting for her for so long. Stephanie's the only person who's able to see that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
Well, I hate it here.
Another thing that's really interesting about this scene is that the bathroom was so small. The bathroom was so small, but just general cinematography hack, in addition to the mirrors being a philosophical thing about reflection, self-reflection, reflection on the greater world. It also creates enough distance for you to get some really nice shots, some nice singles, and some nice depth. So that's a cinematography hack.
Yeah, the scene was very, very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
You did great.
Thank you.
Steph, n'a pas rentré manger pour eux là.
You could just say sorry.
So the last scene we're going to talk about is the resolution scene. From a cinematography standpoint, I liked the concept of the things that each person is missing, not noticing about the other. And so it was funny to me to make the wide, you can see the makeup clearly, but the audience isn't going to notice that. So it's another game of noticing that's happening before we get into this really beautiful, touching moment between mother and daughter.
Yeah, the makeup artist did a really amazing job with that look there. Loved it. I think for this scene, with this resolution, the way I started it out was Stephanie has come home not talking to her mother for a few days. Instead of the mom, you know, verbally apologizing right then and there, she offers food, which is something I feel that like a lot of strong-willed mothers do when they don't want to admit their wrongs and apologize to across the diaspora. It's a problem, okay? And so I thought it was very touching to call that and show a little bit of that humanity. But of course, after that little moment, there becomes this resolution that happens between the two of them.
Perfect.
All right. Ready?
Ou fem fly? Ou fem fly?
God.
Ou konen mwen sesyon cute photos? For fem fly.
Okay, Mom. Okay. Also in this scene was a call out to my upbringing in my hometown. The mother says she's getting ready for some cute photos. And it's, cute photos is basically those pictures that you saw in that really articulated and poised background, and your mother would just sit there and take her little pictures. So I thought it would be really important to call that out and just to show where like my inspiration and storytelling comes from. And so that is Notes on the Scene.
Yep.
Thank you for watching.
Oh. This on me?